Welcome back, Celebration Pros. Welcome to the fourth and final episode of the Overcome the Overwhelm series. As a quick recap, we have chatted about taking the first steps in caring for your number one asset, that would be you, and how to become a planner in your own business, and it will set you on the track for success. We also brought on content strategist Ruthie Starrett. I absolutely adore her. And she helped us find simplicity in our content and our social media strategies. And please don't worry, there's going to be so many more future tips on overcoming overwhelm in your business. I wanted to present this all to you in a 101 style so that you can start thinking about the gaps that need to be filled in your business. And being a small business owner is hard. You guys, we keep up with taxes and payments and emails and projects and team members and inventory and planning and meetings and you name it. I had to take a breath in that sentence because we do so much as solopreneurs or even just as small teams. And we're working harder than any 9 to 5 employee. Am I right? Can you relate? Are you like nodding along with me? If so, I hope that you can take even one thing from today's episode to help you take that stress off your plate because the truth is, none of that should be happening. You shouldn't be so stressed. You shouldn't have to be working more than even 4 hours a day. And so today we're going to set off the grand finale fireworks with systems. I am always surprised when I find out that a business has no real systems in place. And I see this all too often, where maybe you're working from a personal email account or a DIY website without a roadmap for customers' journey or a clear product suite or tracking expenses, among so many other important facets of your business. When we work from a place of willy nilly, the same type of progress is going to be the result. And yes, Karen, systems sound great, but I don't even know where to start. I get it. It can be so overwhelming to pull this pain point off the back burner and be responsible to make decisions. But it's time to put on your CEO hat because, after all, how do we know which systems work for you? And what if you do it all wrong and it's all a waste? Well, I'm here to help you straighten that hat and feel really confident as we move into the realm of systems and how they can just be your best friend in your business. So let me ask you this. If you were to keep going with the lack of systems or the current systems that you have in place, will you be closer to your 5 year goals? Or if you keep going the way you are now, will you just be in the same place? And you guys, systems are not made to scare you. I know it's right now, you guys are already overwhelmed just even listening to this episode. And if you're feeling that, let's take a big, deep breath. Okay. Just let it all go. Let it all go. Get rid of all those scaries because the fact is, systems are created to make your life easier, to make it less scary and more fun. Because as creatives, many of us fear the logistics or the learning of new programs. You guys, I can't tell you the number of times I've heard, I'm not good at tech. I've heard that phrase so many times. And the people, you guys, the people who've made these systems for the wedding industry, they know this because they're one of us. And I have found that so many of these platforms offer simple tutorials to get you started, to get you off the ground running, and to support you over the time of using their programs. And there are so many endless YouTube tutorials as added support from other pros who are just experts at whatever platform that you decide to choose. So let's get to thinking about how new systems can support you. Per usual, I have questions. And the reason why I always have questions for you is because I don't want you to just hear the you shoulds and you need tos and you don't need to be doing this and this is bad and this is good. This isn't a one size fits all market. So what I want you to do is to really take a bird's eye view of your business and ask these questions and get really honest with yourself on what actions can be taken to push yourself towards your goals. Okay, so the first question, do you have systems in place? No? We're going to start with no. So if you don't have systems in place, the next question to ask yourself is what part of your business makes you crazy? What part of your business are you like, oh, I loathe this part of my business. I can't stand doing this task. And so from there, then we can ask the questions, what systems can help you? But before we get into those systems, I also want to ask for those of you who do have certain supportive platforms in place, what isn't working for you? Which ones are working? Which ones aren't? And why aren't those working for you? More often than not, the answer to that question is, have you actually taken the time to utilize or learn the features appropriately? A lot of times, what we'll do is we'll download like a CRM platform, something that's massive that could make such an impact in our business, but we're so scared or we're so overwhelmed with the tasks that it could essentially take off our plate that we don't take the time to understand the program. So sometimes it's just not a good match. Sometimes there are going to be programs that you sign up for, you pay for, and you're like, man, that was a waste of time and money. But the truth is, what happens is either, again, A, you're not taking the time to learn the features, or B, you decide what works and what doesn't in a program, and then you shift to another program that does. And it's even easier to learn the new program because a lot of times the features are similar. So, okay, so we have talked about, do you have systems in place? And if they're not working, how can we decide if we drop them or change them? And if you don't have any systems in place, what systems can help you? Well, you guys, just as an example, I used Honeybook in my previous wedding planning business, and it took a while to figure out how to use the platform for my own for wedding planning and learn the features and figure out how to make it look branded to my company and all of the things. And it took time, but in the end, once we actually learned how to use the features, all of a sudden our clients were experiencing these, maybe it was a template that we would send out that could be helpful at certain stages in their planning. How cool is that? Or maybe it's a payment reminder so that I don't have to remember and my client doesn't have to remember that a payment's due. It just automatically does it for you. And that's just little headaches that are taken away. Also, right now, I'm using an email marketing program called ConvertKit. Now, let me tell you, I'm not a big fan, when we're talking about parts of our businesses that we are not crazy about. The email marketing portion is so important in my business. And it's just a way for me to nurture and love on all of my followers and everybody who has subscribed. But the whole idea of it being like this puzzle and this map of like where you go if you click certain links or whatever, it makes me a little bit crazy. And so when I am able to hire out, which is going to be shortly, this is probably going to be the very first thing that I hire out for. I'm going to create all the emails, but I'm going to hire somebody to actually put them in place. So this is where I'm going to go through a list of different ways that you can use systems to help you in your business. And I want you to say, oh, aha, like have that aha moment, that little ding ding in your head, or that little like red flag that pops up, or that sting. You're going to have kind of that, like, you're going to wince because you're going to be like, oh, yep, that's my business. And I want you to take note of whatever that moment is and start researching some of these platforms that I'm going to list off for you, because those are going to be the platforms that are going to be able to help you, and they're going to be able to save you time, and they're going to be able to help you make more money. All right, let's get into it. So we have, again, email marketing. ConvertKit is what I use. Flowdesk is another one that's highly recommended. Customer journey. So this is going to be those customer relation management platforms. Honeybook, Dubsado, Aisle Planner. Those ones are very, very popular, especially in our industry. There's several others. I would just, make sure they have the features that you're looking for. Do a quick analysis. Don't take too much time. Maybe set a timer for 30 minutes of research, and then just choose to dive into one, because honestly, the majority of them have what you need. Project management. This is going to be when, and a lot of those CRMs have project management within them. This is going to be really detailed. You get really nitty gritty into project management. You have different boards. This is great for when you want to pull in collaborations with your team, your vendors, your clients. And I personally use Trello. I've really been enjoying it. Another one would be ClickUp. My mentor prefers ClickUp over Trello. I think it has more features. So that would be for project management, branding, and product suite design. You could certainly hire out for this, but if you're not ready to hire out, you could use Canva. If you haven't heard of Canva, Canva is absolutely amazing. Once I found it, I felt like I hit gold. And they have so many ways that you can use your brand, your colors, your fonts, all of that, and pull it into thousands or if not millions of templates that they have on there for all kinds of things, from social media to website design to you name it, flyers, whatever it is. Then we also have social media automation. Apps like Planoly or Later are going to help you take your content and just like automate it so that you don't have to think about it. So that throughout the week, it just goes ahead and posts, and people are going to think that you're posting all week, but instead you're on the couch eating bonbons. I've never used that term. Everybody uses that term, so I'm throwing it in there. Okay, you guys, I had to Google what bonbons were because I didn't even know. But anyways, off hands scheduling. I love Calendly. Instead of going back and forth with the client and saying, hey, this is when I'm available. Are you available? And they come back and they're like, no, can we do my lunch break on Wednesday? And you're like, nope, I got a meeting. Let's go ahead and shoot for after hours. You don't want to do that. So why don't you go ahead, go into Calendly, set up, it'll integrate with your personal digital calendar, and you can set it up where they click on a link and they can see what your schedule looks like and when you're open for calls, and they can go ahead and click and it's done. And there's no back and forth with it. This has been like a huge time saver in my business personally. The next one is accounting, QuickBooks, which QuickBooks it's compatible rather with CRM platforms such as HoneyBook, Dubsado, I believe Aisle Planner, but don't that one maybe fact check. But QuickBooks is great. Not only does it track your expenses, it integrates with your bank account. So it will go through it. It does have some automations. You definitely need to go through and just make sure it's doing it correctly as you go along. It will give you tax reminders. Your accountant will love you if you have QuickBooks because it is just such a universal platform. And then finally, your website. This is something you can definitely hire out for. If you don't have a website, you can start with a landing page. A landing page it's similar to like a pop-up. So it's a place where somebody can say, I would like more information. Here's my email address. And then you can just use your social media as your portfolio. So no, you don't need a website if that's the question that you're asking. Like, what are you talking about not having a website? You don't need a website. Most of the clients are going to go to social media first. They're not going to go to your website first. They're going to check you out on social media. Instagram and Pinterest are like the search engines for weddings. So no, you don't need a website. So you can do a landing page, or because we're creatives and we love having a website and all the things, Canva has templates for websites. I believe you can also publish through Canva, or Weebly is actually what I use. I've kind of become a pro with it, although it doesn't have the best search engine optimization, that SEO. So if you want to start off DIY, Weebly is a great platform to start with. And then once you hire out, you can transfer it over to something that is more SEO friendly. Okay, so I'm just going to go back through them. So again, you can have that aha moment, and then you can go back and you can write down whatever the platform was that I'd mentioned. And when you go back, you can Google and say, okay, let's look at this platform and comparable options. And then that way you can do a little bit of that research. And again, set a timer, 30 minutes, and choose what you're going to do. Don't waste too much time going down the rabbit hole. Okay, so we've got email marketing, customer journey, project management, branding and product suite design, social media automation, off-hands scheduling, accounting, website. What are some other things that I didn't mention? How about event design? How about diagrams? right? So there's other things depending on your line of work where there might be other automations depending on what your niche is. So these are all systems and platforms that I use in my own business to create a streamlined experience for not only my client, but for myself too. And you guys, I don't expect you to write all of this down and implement everything tomorrow. But if you found one or two of these categories that struck a nerve, again, just take note because those are the ones that you're going to want to start with. And what if you choose the wrong one for you, right? We're going to come back to that question. The good news, again, is that typically once you jump into one platform, it's easier to learn the next. So if the first one isn't the right fit, it'll be easier to learn the next one because at least you get the concept of what the platform is supposed to do. And you'll know what you want and what you don't want, making choosing the next one a much more clear decision. It's likely that you didn't choose to be an entrepreneur to work 30 hours a day, chasing emails and payments, doubting yourself along the way, and feeling seriously burnout. And you guys, if you're already there, if you're already feeling that overstressed, please, please, please don't quit your dream. I am here. Please reach out to me because I offer so many options to help get your back of house in order with simple steps so that you can start focusing on your passion and start bringing the fun back into this. And if you're just starting out or you're somewhere in between, I really hope this episode was helpful in deciding where your business could be more streamlined so that you can enjoy more time as the CEO of your passion and in your life and less time as the administrative assistant, as we all are at some point in our business. And again, this is the last of our 4-part series in overcoming the overwhelm. So if you're fighting this, please take the time to listen and to take notes through this series. And like I had mentioned before, if even this episode stressed you out, that is just your sign that you need to start implementing some of these things. Don't put all of this on the back burner. Take those small steps because even those small changes can lead to big success over time. Take that deep breath and go back to the first part of the series and just take the notes and just take note on where I'm striking a nerve and know that is your sign to work on that part of your business and that part of yourself. And you know what? If you're feeling ready to deep dive together into your business, I've actually opened up one-on-one coaching seats for March. And you guys, I'd love to be your business bestie. I want to help you reach those big goals, and I cannot wait to see you shine. All right, that's what I got for you today. And I'm wishing you a win.